So right now, the only thing that's holding you back after you've seen those facts is your belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you go about reprogramming yourself? How do you go about realigning your own truths, creating your own truths and not the truths that were given to you? I'm sorry, y'all. My dog just threw up. Really?
Man, you good? Hey, what's good, family? Welcome to another edition of the Black and Abundant Podcast, where we talk all things personal development and just giving you all the opportunity to walk on this journey with us as we go and grow in this life. So, how you feeling, babe?
I'm feeling pretty okay. It is early in the rising. It's like 8 a.m. right now. And I mean, as full-time entrepreneurs, we get to wake up whenever we want to. So the fact that I'm up this early and trying to think, normally we're up this early like working out. So actually trying to shoot a podcast right now is different.
It is different.
How are you?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very grateful.
Okay. For what?
You know me, I'm a rising person. I love to get up super early to get the day. I don't care what day it is. It's, you know how my mindset is. Every day we wake up, it's another opportunity to go after it and get after it as well. So, yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know that, but Jamal is very intense for no reason. Like most of the time.
But no, it's a good reason though. Well, I'm very intense and I own that. It is what it is.
Yes,
But
he thrives from the challenge.
yeah, I'm just at a place in my life where I'm just excited to get up and take shots and do stuff. Like, we woke up this morning. We woke up, bro, and like, first thing that came to my head is new opportunity. Yep, you got some BS in your life that is not perfect. But look, we up, we get to take a chance to fix it and grow from the experience.
So this just randomly came to my mind, but we have a mentor and we were on a call with him, I think last week. And he said, in marriage, the thing that you love the most about a person will be the thing that you hate the most. So I might love something right now about Jamal, but in marriage, apparently it's gonna become my biggest annoyance.
You think so?
I can already see it. I can already see what it's gonna be.
Ooh, I can see it now, babe. 6 a.m. alarm going off. Let's go, baby. 6 a.m. Let's get it.
Bro, we're gonna have to sleep in separate rooms. I'm gonna put a lock on my door.
Okay, we can do a slight compromise. I can wait. I can wait at 80 to come in and turn for you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
So this is actually not our first time shooting this podcast episode. We attempted to shoot it on Wednesday night, but as we got to editing it, both of us had some grievances about the episode that we had to sit down and discuss. Jamal's being that he did not like the flow of our podcast style, which I could agree with. I definitely agree with the changes that we've made and that we've discussed, but we never really took the time to sit down and figure out how we wanted our podcast to go anyway. Like, we watched some examples, we listened to some examples, and we decided on a style that we feel is going to suit us. So we're testing it out today to see what happens.
Yeah. And for those that are watching, like I said, you guys are going and growing with us. Let us know. Give us some feedback. What do you feel about this style? Let us know, because we want to get better, you know?
Yeah.
We don't want to be those people that give boring content. So
Right.
if you really rocking with us, be real with us and let us know. It's all from love.
Please, actually. Please. We would love some feedback. But also, my grievance, which I feel like is going to kind of transition into what I wanted to talk about today, is the art of storytelling. So we had a whole don't roll your eyes. We had a whole discussion about this. So for you guys who did not know, I went to a school where we started learning how to present, like public speak, in ninth grade. Mm-hmm. And I did so all throughout high school and then a little bit in college. But I mean, by then it was baby stuff to me. Like I was one of the best presenters. I would get awards for my presentation skills. And also when I got to, well, also I did pageants, so that helped. But then when I got to my career as a teacher, I would teach my students how to present now. So I got to look at it from the other side. So I'm a stickler when it comes to public speaking and presenting. And you might think that, I'm not the best. But at the same time, I feel like the way that I present, I feel like I've crafted over years and years and years of work. And I've almost nearly mastered the art of storytelling. Mm-hmm. So Jamal and I were having a conversation
Keep it real.
About how I feel like what he's missing as a speaker, because he's new to public speaking. So we are working on bettering him as a speaker so then we can go out here and be on these stages. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? So one thing that I brought to his attention is that he has to learn the art of storytelling. Mm. That is key. It is crucial because people want to be able to relate to you. And if they don't know your story, if they know nothing about your personality and who you are, you can't build that credibility with your audience that makes them want to continue to listen to you. Mm-hmm. So we got into the conversation about how Jamal just doesn't feel like his story is something that he wants to talk about. Now, right now, we're also taking a course, and it's a course about how to make a course. And a part of one of the activities is that we had to talk about our rock bottom. And I've talked about my rock bottom a million times. I've got that thing burned into my brain because it is a crucial part of my story that a lot of people relate to and that I use in order to build that relationship with my audience. And when we got to Jamal had no idea what his rock bottom was.
Yeah.
And I had to be like, okay, Jamal, do you not remember the times you were sleeping on the couch? Do you not remember that you got arrested? Do you not remember that you slept in your car at one point? Do you not remember these things? And what was your response?
Oh, damn, that really did happen. That's rock bottom? Huh. Dang, I guess I really did go through some stuff. Wow. And by you doing that, you helped me to see that the way that I was looking at those things were not the best way to look at it.
How were you looking at them?
You know how my mindset is. I'm so forward focused. It's like all right, this only temporary. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to get through it. All right, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't allow myself the permission to see that in those moments. Yeah, when you're in the moment, I may see it, but I'm just so like, okay, solution focused.
Yeah.
All right, it could be worse. It could be worse. All right, I'll get through it. It can be worse. Let me just do what I got to do.
And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for all of you out there who think that your situation, or you minimize your situation because you think that somebody out there has it worse, that is not a reason to not give yourself credit for the tough times that you've been through.
That's hard for me.
It is. Because Jamal, like you said, he's straight to the point. Like, he has mental toughness down to an art. So when it comes to looking at his own struggle, he doesn't even look at it as a struggle. But what I was trying to explain is that even though you might not look at it as a struggle, me personally, I've never gotten arrested. I've never had to sleep in my car. I've slept on a couch before. But I ain't never have to plug in the heme blanket in the car and do that mess. No.
30 degrees out here, and then had to wake up the next day. The way that I took my baths was where I wake up and it's freezing cold, but I took my showers at Planet Fitness.
See, I ain't never had to do that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there have never had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are the few of you out there who have had to do that and now have a better relationship with Jamal because now you know that he been through the ringer.
You know, I just thought of this as you were speaking. Maybe that is why I had a hard time at one point empathizing with people.
Talk about it.
It makes sense now
Okay.
because people can't relate to me because I'm so.
Yeah.
They don't see that I'm an actual human being that been through shit and that has feelings. So why would they want to feel comfortable with me if I'm such a robot? And you helped me to see that, and my sister too.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Kimaya.
There was one point in my life that people literally had to remove themselves away from me because I was not an empathetic person. And that was a huge gut check to me. It made me step back and be like, oh, snap. Like, it was a blind side. I was so blinded by this side of me.
Yeah.
I had to step back and self-analyze it, and it hurt. Like, dang, I'm actually thinking that I'm being a great person to these people, being a great example, doing right by them, but you're not. But I'm thankful that you helped me to see that in my sis, and I've definitely been doing the necessary work. Still got a lot more work to do to get to a place where I'm being more human, being more relatable, and empathizing more. So,
And I want to say, babe, that you're doing a wonderful job. You guys did not know Jamal, or maybe you did, but a lot of you probably did not know Jamal when we first met. Actually, today is our 3-year anniversary.
hey,
3 years ago today, we met each other. So it's been a wild ride since then, and we've both grown and matured so much in that time span. But meeting Jamal 3 years ago and watching the way that he interacted with other people and watching the way that he interacted with me, it was very, very toxic in that he pushed you so hard that it almost felt like the things that you did accomplish weren't enough. And we've talked about it, how women in your past have communicated to you that they just feel like they aren't enough for you. And yeah, and men, a message to you that I want to just make you aware of is that you cannot be so caught up in your masculine energy that you don't know how to tap into that feminine, that you don't know how to empathize, because you will push away the women in your life.
facts. I am a prime example because that happened to me.
Like, as a woman, we like to, one, be rewarded for our efforts. Being masculine is hard for us. So let me just put this into perspective with an example from the other day. Y'all, I hate going to the gym. I hate going to the gym. Can't stand it. It's not my thing. I wish I was one of those people that woke up and was excited to go to the gym, but I'm not. And over the years, I've tried to figure out how to make the gym experience more, what's the word? Swallowable, plattable,
Doable, enjoyable.
something like that. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I've been trying to figure out how to make it more digestible.
Okay.
That works. Okay. So what I've noticed about myself is that if a gym routine is too hard for me, if it's too hard and it's too inconvenient for me, I won't do it. I won't be consistent. And consistency is my goal. I would rather be consistent at something small than inconsistent at something big. So for me, we just switched over to a new gym. And I had just gotten comfortable. We did Orange Theory for a minute, and it was great. It taught us a lot of things.
Yeah, shout out to Orange Theory.
Yeah, they're dope. But we just switched over to a new gym because both of us wanted to focus more on strength training. And y'all, this gym ain't no joke.
Not at all.
No joke. And it's been easier now. But that first day was wilding. Okay? It was wilding. So I went for 2 days straight, and I'm not used to strength training. I've never been in a place in my life where I focused on strength training. So my muscles are muscling like they've never muscled before. Mm-hmm. My body is on freaking fire. Okay? And not only that, TMI, but I felt my period coming on. And ladies, you know, when symptoms start happening before the blood even starts flowing, symptoms start happening, you start getting bloated, you start getting irritated and moody and just in pain, cramping, gas, all that. So I woke up that morning and I'm like, look, I'm not going to the gym today. You can have it. I'm not going to the gym today. After 2 days straight, I'm in pain. I'm PMSing. I'm not going to the gym. And he was like, okay. And he went to the gym. And then he gonna get home and be like, I think you should go to the gym today. Now, I might have overreacted. I might have overreacted because, like I said, I'm PMSing, I'm mood swingy, and I'm really irritable. But that just pissed me all the way off.
Really?
It pissed me all the way off because I'm like, bro, I done worked my ass off these past 2 days. I'm in pain. Can I get a day? Can I get 1 day and I'll be back in there tomorrow? But the way he came in there like, nah, I think you should go to the gym today, that made me feel like, damn, the last 2 days I just did wasn't shit, were they?
Yeah.
It made me feel like you discredited the work that I have been doing.
Yeah.
And men, you have to be so careful with that because your masculine energy is like, yes, get stuff done. Like the more I do, the more successful I feel. You know, the more accomplished I feel for that day. Mm-hmm. But for women, it's important for us to stay in tune with our feminine, listen to our bodies, listen to our higher selves. We feel accomplished when we get something done and we respect our rest.
Okay.
If we neglect our rest, then we get too masculine.
Yeah.
That's not something that we want to do. So as a man, you have to acknowledge that about your woman.
Yeah.
And relax in that a little bit. Even for yourself. You got to learn how to rest.
Now, let me come in on that before I give my thoughts. First and foremost, shouts out to I Am Love Fitness Training Facility here. And Trey, your facility is amazing. Shouts out to all you guys. Y'all are amazing.
They are dope.
Love it. Thank you. And when it comes to this, I am learning. You're actually helping me to find that balance when it comes to the masculine and feminine. That's why one of the many reasons why I love you and I appreciate who you are and why I'm choosing to rock with you every day. And you see things in me that I have not seen and I currently do not see. Mm-hmm. And that's very important when it comes to men choosing who you want to rock with. Like, does your woman see areas within you that you can develop and improve? And it's not going to make you comfortable, but she's pulling it out of you. And that's what you do. I appreciate that. I want everybody to know that. So, and when it comes to men too, being on this masculine tip, in my mind, coming from my perspective, we can go day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, even though we're feeling pain and all these things, our body's like, It's like a real alpha masculine man, we're going to be like, fuck that. Nah, get your ass up and let's go. You can rest on Saturday, but right now you said you was going to go. Let's get it. Because what? We got to go out here and hunt, make stuff happen. We got stuff on our shoulders. We ain't got time to be out here. I think I'm taking a break. Nah. Get up and let's get it. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the mentality that I always have. And I did not realize before that's very toxic when it comes to giving that energy off to women all the time.
Yep.
It's not good. And now I see why certain people decided to remove themselves from my life. 'Cause it got to a point to where I was overly masculine, and I did not understand the true essence of balance. So now, and it's not perfect. Like I'm a student when it comes to this. I am a student in this area. She is the master teacher, and I'm grateful. And there are certain things that I'm the master teacher, and you're the student. There's a nice balance. That's great. I love that. But when it comes to this, I'm a student, baby. So, and that moment that she just described, I kind of messed up again. I messed up again.
I was mad the whole day.
But you helped me to understand why you was upset, why that was not okay. And I took some time to self-reflect. But like, bro, remember, it's a marathon, not a race, not a sprint. She's doing great, bro. The fact that you made the decision to switch to do something new that you have not really done before, and you went 2 days in, you're giving it your all. If she want to take a break, bro, let her give a break. Like, encourage her, congratulate her. She ain't got to be as intense as you, but if she's making the decision to continue to go and show up and be better, bro, that's amazing. So, yeah.
So I want to talk about something that we discussed the other day, because I feel like a part of the reason why you push me a little too hard is trauma from my past self.
Okay, talk about it.
So I had the thought this morning, and we had this conversation, that as a woman, you cannot rely on your man's masculine energy to propel you forward. Yes, he can influence you, but you have to find that power from deep within to motivate yourself.
Yep.
The first time around in our relationship, I had to be pushed really hard. Like, really hard. He was my motivator. I did not have the internal motivation. I met this man for the first time, and he's someone who's, like I said, super intense, in the gym, always working on his stuff. And if you haven't met me, I'm a very free-flowing, spirited person. Mm-hmm. So I'm always going with the flow. I'm always thinking about how I feel and going with that. And with that comes the lack of discipline. So I meet this man who's overly disciplined and doesn't know how to flow. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, we did not know how to balance that. I would rely on him to discipline me. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. But I relied on you to check me and my discipline. And meanwhile, I would get frustrated with him for not going with the flow. Mm-hmm. So if you look back at that situation, I was very reliant on you. And now I feel like you have this fear that if you stop pushing me, that I'll stop pushing myself. Now, women, you cannot walk into a relationship where that man is your only motivator.
Ooh.
I'm not saying that you have to have it all together, that you have to be like this super strict, disciplined person, but I'm saying you have to at least have that desire, that burning desire to want to do better. And you don't have to be perfect at it, but you got to start somewhere. Like a big argument that we were having in our relationship early on, the second time around, is he was afraid that without him, I would not adopt a plant-based lifestyle. And in essence, he was kind of right, but not really. Because when he came into my life the second time, I had been plant-based for a while, but I had fallen off the wagon a little bit. So he came back into my life seeing that I was off the wagon. So him coming back into my life, us moving in together, him coming back into my space, and us eating together, he thought, okay, well, if I wasn't here, she would not be eating right. But it's not that. He inspired me to want to eat right again. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a difference between being inspired and being motivated.
Most definitely.
It's okay for your partner to inspire you to do different things. He inspired me to go plant-based. He inspired me to get in the gym. He inspired me to want to go the full entrepreneur route at this time in my life. It's not motivating me, though. He's not motivating me to do anything. I do that myself because those are things that I value.
That's good. That was so good. That was some really deep, great points that men and women need to make sure that they package and take along with them in their journey, with not only within self, but in their relationship. I realized the first go around, and that was one of the main things that made me hesitate with just really going to that next level with you. Because I did not want to be with a woman, or just in general, a man. Like, who wants to be with someone that when that person is depending on that person to get them going every single day? It's like,
it's draining.
It's very draining, and it's unattractive. It's highly unattractive. Yeah, you're a great human being, but if I have to do this, if you can't find that within yourself first, what does that say about you? There's something within you. Because think about it. Why am I relying on something outside of me all the time to get me going? In areas that you know that is very important for you. And yeah, babe, like, I wanted to give more of myself to you the first go around, but I saw that blockage.
Yeah.
And I know there's men that's dealing with that in their relationship now, and it's very unattractive. Like, they want their woman to be able to do for themselves first without them. Like, seeing a woman do for herself first without the man, without me, I don't gotta, like, tell you or motivate you. That's sexy as hell. That's so sexy. Because in the back of my mind, I can lean on you. In the back of my mind, I know for a fact, like, she getting up. She don't need me. She know when it comes to tomorrow rising, she putting them gym clothes on. She know what's up. That's oof. Man. So with the second go round, we talked about that. We had situations where, we had some breakthroughs. And I wanted to talk with you. Why is it that certain women, I don't even want to say certain women, just in general, men or women, but I'm just going to say women, why is it that they feel like they need their man to push them like that when they're not doing that for themselves first? Because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to you now. But for the woman who's back to where you were.
I feel like that place that I was in where I needed external motivation came from a lot of places.
Okay.
And a couple of them have to do with being a woman, but a couple of them have to do with just being a person. So as a woman who is extremely feminine, being masculine is such a chore. And I did not see the benefit in being masculine either. I did not have a man in my life growing up. Not really a healthy man, let's put it like that. I never had a healthy example of what masculine energy was. And then you get to my mother, who's super, super masculine. So I had a very negative relationship with masculine women and masculinity showing up within myself, which in turn threw off my balance. Because now I'm way too carefree. I'm way too free-flowing, where I don't really care about anything, really. But then also as a person, you have that mixed in with the fact that I didn't know who I was. my self-love and my self-worth were in the toilet. Like, I had self-confidence, I'll put it like that. But at the true root of my being, you could tell that I did not love myself enough to put boundaries in place and to respect myself and my body. So you have a woman who doesn't really know how to be disciplined with herself, doesn't care to be disciplined because she doesn't respect herself or her body enough. And then you have a woman who's also lost. She didn't really understood what she valued in life. She didn't really have any direction. Like, when we met, I was coming out of college and I had my engineering degree, but I recognized that that's something that I did not want to do. I started a job and I immediately hated it. And I had just started a new business endeavor. This is my first time ever being in business. Mm-hmm. So my life was all over the place. And I didn't really know what to do. So having a man beside me that knew where he was going, was steadfast, focused on his goals, it just made me want to latch on to his vision. And I want to talk about that too, because not only women, do you not want a woman who doesn't have any internal motivation, but you also don't want a man who doesn't have a vision.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like lostness affects a man. A man who is lost is not a man that you want to follow.
Facts.
And a woman who is lost is not a woman that you want to follow you.
Ooh, that's so real.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very important to take the time to ask questions, like vet who you considering before you really like get in deep with these people.
Yeah.
Like, take the time to ask, like, you know where you're going, like, where are you going? What's your vision? What are your values? What do you like? What you don't like? Stuff like that, and observe.
And also, it's important to ask yourself those questions so that you can have the answer to that.
A lot of people don't ask themselves the right questions. We talk about this all the time. They don't take the time to question because why? They're lost in life all over the place.
And they use outside endeavors like your job, your kids, or whatever you have going on. You use the distractions of life as an excuse for why you haven't asked yourself those questions, or why you don't have the time to sit down and meditate on those things, why you don't have the time to get to know yourself, why you don't have the time to dream.
Yep. And that's the biggest lie that you can tell yourself too, that you don't have time to do something. No, you have time. It's just your time is dispersed all over the place. You're not being intentional with your time. There's external entities that you're giving permission for them to take your time, and you may not realize the detriment of that. For example, I know people in my family, I'm not going to say specifically who, but every time that I go spend time with them, and we understand time is the most valuable thing that we have. We're at a place where our time is just precious. If we're giving our time away, we want some return on that. Not just like financially, but when we leave your space, are we going to feel energized or neutral? Or depleted? You're going to leave rooms 3 ways: energized, neutral, or depleted. We want to stay away from depleted, but you just can't, do that. It's something you just don't know what's going to come out of the experience sometimes.
Yeah.
But at least neutral, but we're aiming for energized all the time. So when I go over to this certain person's place, and it's one of the most, outside of myself, the most important relationship that I have in my life. I make sure that I'm being very intentional. I put my phone to the side. I sit at the table. I'm looking you in your eye. Hello. What's going on? How are you doing? What's going on in your life? Like, what's going on? What's up? Talk to me.
You gave away who it is already.
Yeah, I'm
but
just not going to say no name, but we know it. So But what I realized, this person, she's constantly looking at her phone.
Mm.
And if you're doing that in that spurt, that little piece of time with me, I know this is how you're spending your free time.
Yeah.
You're looking at just, you would rather look at the things that's on this phone to get a good laugh or whatever, rather than spending and investing time with me and answering my very important questions that I'm encouraging you to answer, that you're not even asking yourself these questions in the first place.
But why do you think she avoids? And people out there who are like that, who are consumed by the distractions of their day-to-day life. I feel like we talked about this the other day with smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do people feel the desire to be outside of their day-to-day? Why are people afraid to actually be sober? Because, I mean, the internet, it's a drug.
Mm-hmm.
The food we eat is a drug.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just the things that you can smoke, right? So why do people get so consumed in their distractions and recognize that they're consumed in their distractions, so much so that they want to escape their day-to-day life?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure that out. It doesn't make sense on the outside looking in. One, obviously, you hate your reality so bad to where you want to fill it with distractions. Like, you just don't like your life. And you look for moments of escape mechanism or escapisms. You look forward to those things, and because you have so many things that either A, not going in your favor, or you just don't necessarily like, and you haven't done necessary work or made the decision within yourself to say, hey, where I am in my life is because of me.
Personal accountability.
They don't want to take personal accountability, and taking personal accountability requires you to rip off all the Band-Aids, all of the issues that you got going on within yourself that you run from, and you haven't manned up or womaned up yet to address them. Look yourself in the mirror and be like, yep, all of this is because of me right here. So to avoid that, they would rather continue to run, and running shows up in different forms. Drugs. All of these are drugs.
Yeah.
But the different types of drugs, social media, toxic relationships, it's a distraction.
Distracting you from your reality.
Exactly. And it proposes the question, like, do you really want to be free and grow like you say you really want to?
I don't think a lot of people want to.
What they're afraid of.
This is about to get real controversial real fast.
Like, why do you want to hold on to your not to say boring life, but your toxic situation? Why is it, what's in you that's making you to continue to hold on to that?
We talk about this a lot, how we are two very growth-minded people, where there's not an area of our lives that we're comfortable with settling in. We want the absolute best, not just for ourselves and our relationship, but our families, our future children, our future lineage, the people around us. So we constantly put ourselves in uncomfortable situations in order to improve our lives and in order to get that result that we desire. And as two people that are like that, it can get really frustrating really fast with our family. Because friends, I mean, we've pretty much alienated any friends that are like that, like stuck. We are very careful with who we give a lot of our energy to. I wouldn't say alienated per se, but we put them in a bucket.
All right.
And we have to be careful at how often we access that bucket.
We're being very intentional.
Exactly. But with family, things like our parents, our siblings, or people that we grew up with like siblings, our aunts and uncles, it's so hard for us to watch them throw their lives away. That is the hardest thing to watch.
It really is.
Because we understand that it is as simple as asking yourself the right questions and executing on the answers. Getting unstuck is really as simple as that. I didn't say it was easy, but it really is as simple as asking yourself the right questions and executing on your answers.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are so afraid of being uncomfortable to the point where they will sacrifice their life, their health, their well-being, their dreams. They will sacrifice all that to drink a Coke every day, to watch TV every day.
Yep, to avoid the questions that you need to have within yourself, and to avoid the conversations that you know you need to have with somebody in your life because they're crossing boundaries, but you're afraid to lose that relationship, or you're afraid of what the potential outcome may come from that conversation because you don't value yourself enough to place boundaries within your life.
Lord have mercy, that was a word.
Yeah. You know what I think? This just popped up in my head. Being stuck is comfortable.
It's hell. As hell.
And I don't think people really want to lose their sense of comfort. It's easy to get so functional in your dysfunction. It's so easy. And some people, they don't even know that they're in such a dysfunction type situation because it's their reality until somebody outside of their bubble comes to them and be like, yo, you this. Why you one hiccup away from being on the streets? Why are do you realize that your blood pressure is through the roof? Every day you check it, it's through the roof, and you're not doing something about it? Do you realize that you can't sleep at night? You have to take medication, just like some type of drug, just so you can go to sleep? The signs are there, hello. And like you said, what sucks more than anything is watching the people that you love the most. And there's people in our family, we're literally watching them deteriorate in many different areas of their life. And here we are. We coming up, we feel like it's our duty and responsibility to not only help you, you know what I'm saying, in the best that we can, but we learn that if we giving help and you're not receiving it, we're hurting ourselves. If we continue to do so. So we had to dial back and pull back. But what we are doing is like, hey, if you do this, and it works, we're giving you the blueprint to get unstuck. And you're not receiving the game and the information and the resources that we're giving to you so that you can better your life and get unstuck. That has nothing to do with us. You're choosing to stay there and be stuck.
And let's look at that deeper, because there's a big difference between not wanting better for your life because you don't know that better exists, as in you're just ignorant to the fact of it. Because a lot of people, one thing that my mom said to me one day that just blew my mind is that she was like, Nia, I'm in pain every day. And I had no idea. I did not know that she was physically in pain every day for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But what followed that was, that's just life. There's a difference between believing that something is just a part of life, that the pain that you're going through is just a part of life, but then also seeing that that's not true and continuing to believe that. For example, people who act like their certain health issues are normal. Now, Jamal and I, we can lead by example all day. You see what we do. You see our stories. You see how we get on there. We're drinking our gut cleanser. We're taking our herbs. We're eating our fruits and veggies. We're encouraging people to go on fruit cleanses. We're exercising almost every day. Mm-hmm. We're taking care of our bodies because we understand where dis-ease comes from. Mm-hmm. So people like our parents, think about if y'all are seeing that, imagine what our parents see. They see when we go out to restaurants, we don't get any meat or cheese. They see when we come over, we got juices and smoothies in hand. We give them sea moss and herbs. And they still don't believe that their health situation is something within their control. Or they do believe it, but they don't believe it for themselves.
There you go. That's what I think it is. That's what came to my mind. They believe that it can happen. They believe that they see what we're doing and it works. The results and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Results, the proof.
There we
is
go.
There. And it's obvious. But I just think it's something in them that continuously tells them that they don't believe it for themselves. And how do you fix that in a person? I realized if we're going to do this podcast thing, we got to be honest and transparent about our life.
Yeah. So
my mom is one of the most important relationships in my life outside the relationship with myself and my higher power. I love that woman to life. I'll do anything. And my mom, she's been through some stuff. She's been through a lot. Had me young, had to figure out things on her own. She's done very well for herself up until this point in life. But we have conversations all the time when there's certain things that she's just not really satisfied with. She wants to make adjustments and change. Mm-hmm. So for me as a son, I want to do it. It's that mother-son relationship.
Something
issues.
about that.
I don't know. Like I always ask, hey, why do I have such a deep love for my mom? Like, all I want to do is just make you happy and proud. And I've done it hundreds of times over. But I still have this thing. I feel like I just got to be great so you can be great, And I'm showing you, I'm constantly bringing stuff to the table that you can take and elevate yourself. Yeah. And you're still not doing it. Why so? But anyway, there are times where, I'll come over and I say, Mom, you look very beautiful. And she immediately be like, me? Nah,
Yep. Yeah.
I'm like, what you mean, my mom? You look really great right now. Nah, I look such nah. She said it her own way. But what it's telling me is, something in her past that planted a seed that made her believe that she is not beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that seed has been growing and growing. It got deep rooted within herself throughout the years. Yeah. That's just one seed. There's other different types of negative seeds that have been planted. And these seeds turn into belief systems within self. And the more you think those certain thoughts, it comes like a program in your mind. Mm-hmm. Throughout years and years. And as the years go by and you don't uproot those seeds and change those programs, it's going to get deeper and deeper into who you are. And that's who you start to believe for yourself. So I can come and tell you, yo, you are funny. You need to maximize that. You really have a gift here. Me, nah, it's other people out there that's way better than me. I'm telling you, You're
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm telling you, if you do A, B, C, D, this is what would happen to you in your life. It works. And you still don't do it,
It's that programming.
it's that programming.
For those of you who are stuck out there, who are stuck in your life, or you're wondering why there's a roadblock in your life, it's probably due to your self-beliefs. What are your truths about yourself and your life and your abilities? Because you might have a mental cap on yourself based off of your negative programming and not even know it. There's probably something in your childhood that happened, one moment that led, or several moments that led you to believe something about yourself that's holding you back right now.
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. You see it. You see that you can live a life that you desire. You see that you can quit your job and be successful, like we have. You see that you can cure yourself from a lot of different, all of them really, all diseases and illnesses. You see what it takes to live a healthy lifestyle. You see the facts. So right now, the only thing that's holding you back after you've seen those facts is your belief system. So how do you go about reprogramming yourself? How do you go about realigning your own truths, creating your own truths and not the truths that were given to you? I'm sorry, y'all. My dog just threw up. Really?
Nah, you good.
That was so gross. I really hope y'all didn't hear that.
But I woke up to May, hearing May throw up. Something that right with her tummy.
Yeah, her tummy messed up.
Okay,
All right, she's throwing up some more.
okay.
So I'm sorry if y'all can hear that, but
Okay, we gonna take it.
we're going to take care of her. We got like 5 more minutes. So
Yeah.
we're going to take care of her.
Okay.
But yeah, how do you go about realigning your truths?
How do you go about doing so? In my journey, back to when you were saying the proof is in the pudding, right? If the proof is in the pudding, take the pudding. Why don't you just grab it? Why don't you just decide to do it? It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Everything, when it comes to success or anything that requires you to go to the next level, it's simple, but it's not easy. Let me just validate that. And I understand. I get it. It's not easy at all. Your belief system is connected to who you think that you are. You filter all of your decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis through your belief system. Your value system is connected to your belief system. We have good and bad belief systems. How do you determine what people's belief systems are? Through their decisions. Your actions is what gives you away to the world. And your actions is what speaks. It doesn't have to speak at all. At all. It speaks louder than your words. We hear that all the time. But that's really true.
Yeah.
So, how do you change that? You first need to go through a process of looking at your current life now, different areas, health, finances, your relationships, your social life, all of those things, and be real with yourself. It's going to be uncomfortable. Stop chasing comfort for a second and give yourself permission to be uncomfortable and realize that it's okay to be uncomfortable. You're not going to die. You're going to be okay. So be uncomfortable and ask yourself those questions. Where am I currently on a scale of 1 to 5? You know you overweight. You know you having all these internal diseases and problems and issues. Write them down. Why? Okay? Your finances. You living paycheck to paycheck. Something happens and you one accident away from being complete broke. Why? Okay? These are all decisions that you're making. What decisions am I currently doing that's getting me these results in my life currently? Okay? And these decisions that I'm making is connected to who I believe that I am. All right? Where do I desire to go? Who do I desire to be? What do I want for my life? But who must I become to get these results that I really want for myself? What kind of decisions does that person make? For example, there is a book that changed my life. Game changer. Game changer. The Atomic Habits by James Clear. I highly recommend that book because he basically says that you do not determine your destiny, your habits do. We're nothing but just a creature of habits, everything that we do. So he goes through this process where first you need to figure out who you must become to get these results and break it down to a science. All right, what type of decisions? For example, another example. I was training for a marathon, right? That's a goal. And it's easy to set goals, but I completely removed the goal of completing a marathon. If I do these things, I'm going to get the marathon completed. Duh, I just got to do this. But there's a process. Who is the type of person that completes marathons? Okay. It goes all the way down to a small ass. He puts his gym shoes on. He puts his running shoes on. Okay? So can I set a goal for tomorrow just to put my running shoes on at 5 o'clock by the door? Okay, I'm going to start there. Tomorrow comes 5 o'clock. I know, I told myself, this is what I want, who I must become. I must become, I got to put myself in a position to where I start to see myself as a runner. This is what a runner does. Okay? 5 o'clock come. I put my running shoes on. I get that immediate feeling of, oh, I'm a runner. This is what runners do. Okay, good. That's the first step. What are you going to do after that? Well, shoot, I already got my running shoes on. I might as well go out and get my mile in. Because if you put your shoes on and you turn back, are you really wanting to become the person that you know that you need to be to get this result? You see, so I break out, and this applies to different areas. It can be okay to be a better husband, be a better man, yeah, whatever. Start small and just go from there. And you build on that daily. That's how you start the process of removing the old self that you're so comfortable with making those comfortable decisions, with most of them would be distractions. And this is a new process that you must go through to form the new self. It's uncomfortable in the beginning because you're forming new habits. And these habits and you do this repetitiously over time, these habits is what's going to start to slowly over time build new belief systems, new belief programmings in your mind. Because you got to prove it to yourself that you are becoming the person that you desire to be. And that's complete self-responsibility, complete self-accountability. And that's how you do it, in my opinion.
You said something extremely key, is the part of clearing out your old self. And I want to encourage people that it begins with getting rid of your old self before you can adopt a new mentality, a new personality, all of that. You have to figure out what your old self was.
Yep.
It's almost like, what was it? Mike Todd, in one sermon, he made the reference, or he had he likes to do a bunch of weird things to get his point across.
Yeah.
But he had a bunch of balls in his hand, and people kept trying to add on more balls, and he couldn't hold them. Your beliefs are like those balls. Mm-hmm. Until you let go of some of those old beliefs, you can't adopt new ones.
There you go.
It's counterproductive. I like to think of our minds as a house. First of all, you have to recognize that your house is dirty.
Facts.
A lot of people are living in filth and don't even recognize it. Their minds are cluttered with a bunch of BS that is counterproductive to their growth. But they don't even know. Mm-hmm. But you're starting off well here by listening to this podcast, because we're exposing you to the fact that your house may be disgusting.
Yep.
And that's the goal of this podcast, is that we want to inspire our people to elevate, to want to do better for themselves, but they have to know how and what areas do they have to improve in order to do better for themselves. So this is exposing you to your own ignorance that you may or may not have, which is key. So listening to podcasts like this, going out and meeting new people, interacting with new people outside of your comfort zone, doing things outside of your comfort zone, having new experiences, this is what's going to make you recognize, my house is dirty. Look at their house. Don't y'all ever go like riding through neighborhoods and looking at other people's houses or looking at other people's yards and be like, man, I wish my grass looked like that. Our grass looks a hot mess outside, but our neighbor's grass looks like you could just lay in it. And you're like, dang, we got to get our grass game up. But if our neighbor's grass didn't look like that, we wouldn't think twice. Mm-hmm. Exposing yourself to new situations and talking to new people, that's what's going to expose you to how dirty your house is, yep, how dirty your mindset is. Mm-hmm. So after you recognize that your house is dirty, now what's dirty about it? Are there cups laying around everywhere? Are there clothes that need to be folded, dishes in the sink? What thoughts are holding you back? Mm-hmm. Do the shadow work. So I'm currently creating a course right now, mm-hmm, where I'm not going to drop what it's about yet, but a key point to it is figuring out what those negative thoughts are. What are those pain points? What are those triggers? And something that I'm doing is that every time a trigger pops up in your head, every time something negative pops up in your head that's counterproductive to what you saw, write it down. Every time you see that dirty cup, recognize, okay, I need to clean that cup. That's where it starts. Mm-hmm. And then after you recognize what's dirty about your house, now start removing those things. Remove the water bottles. Remove the dirty clothes. Clean them. Okay? Mm-hmm. Start throwing out all of that clutter. Start throwing out those negative thoughts.
Yep.
Only then, when you've stripped your house of all of the things that were cluttering it, can you start adding new stuff. Why would I buy more decorations for a house filled with shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think of, have you ever watched those hoarding shows?
We watched one together.
Yeah, like, for those of you, have you ever watched one of those hoarding shows where they just keep on adding stuff on top of stuff that they don't even need? Mm-hmm. As you keep adding more stuff on top of your trash, it's just going to become more trash. Mm-hmm. And also, adding on to that is that confidence is built in you going out and doing something. But in that same token, that disbelief, doubt, is also built in you not doing something that you said you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep adding stuff on top of that crap that you have, you're going to keep creating doubt because you're going to continue to not show up. It's going to continue to be counterproductive.
Yep. Yeah, she said it. She gave the answer right there. And I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. When I'm coaching people and let's say they want to get some type of result with their health, before you do anything, you have to go through a process of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Before you do anything in your life that requires you to go to the next level, you can't go to that next level being who you are now. You can't go to that next level holding on to things, doing the things that got you to where you are. So, for example, with the house situation, you have to make room.
Yeah.
You have to declutter. You have to make space. What are those things that you need to let go of? Okay, you want to drop some weight? Okay, why you want to drop weight? Because you don't like the way that you feel, you don't like the way that you look in the mirror. Okay, those are decisions. You decided your way to where you are today at the end of the day.
Now, before you go any further in expanding on that, what was that thing that you just said? For the people whose heads it went over, you said something about deciding?
Yeah, you have decided your way to who you are today.
That's a whole bar.
Yep. And you must own that and take full responsibility of owning that. If you truly want to get to that next level of your life, and to expound on what you were saying about having to remove things, one thing that I do when coaching people, they come to me about wanting to get certain results. For example, with health. Keep it easy. I tell them, yeah, you want to get this result, but you have to understand that who you are right now is not going to get you there. And who you are right now is due to decisions that you make every single day that got you to here. You can't get here by doing the same thing. It's going to require a new being. So first, what got you here and what do you need and what decisions do you need to eliminate first before even thinking about going to the next level? Get clarity on the new decisions that you need to make to fill in the gaps that you just made for yourself. Mm-hmm. That process of elimination, right? All right, because what I want people to understand that your habits is what dictates your life. How do you form habits? Decisions. What allows you to make decisions every day? What you believe that you are. Who do you say that you are? And that is rooted in your beliefs. So you got to change your beliefs, who you are. You determine that, not the world. You determine that. And that's going to affect your new decisions for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's key. So because we're getting to that time in the podcast where we have to end.
No.
Just wanted to do a quick, brief recap in saying that your daily decisions all stem from your beliefs. Mm-hmm. And the reason why you are stuck in your life could partially be due to ignorance. Mm-hmm. But now that you've listened to these podcasts, now that you've interacted with more people, now that you've been exposed to the things that you want to better in your life, now what is holding you back is your own beliefs and how you do not believe that you can do better for yourself.
Right.
Or that you do not believe that even though someone else got a certain result, that you are capable of achieving that same result. Mm-hmm. So what you need to do in order to reprogram your mind and reconfigure your truths and your beliefs is to, one, do the shadow work and figure out what they are, but two, get rid of them And 3, replace them with new beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And a way to do that is by building confidence and taking action.
Yeah.
Wrapping that up, we at the end. Yeah. So if you didn't know who we were throughout this segment, I'm Nia. This is Jamal. You can follow me at by Nia Love. You can follow him at the Alka CEO. We talked a little bit about our platforms. I focus on relationships and mindset. He focuses on wealth and health. So go check us out. Go follow our journey and tap in with us. Look at all of the awesome things that we have available to you.
Word. And until next time, my lovely people, y'all be great. And we see y'all soon.
Bye.